Welcome to the world of mathematics. The topic that I would like to discuss with you is the cost of a matrix, right? So in this video series, we will discuss what is the cost of a matrix and the different method that we use to solve system of linear equation, or simply that we use to solve that we use to play with the matrix. So what are their cost? Okay, the cost of those different methods. For example, there's a Gauss elimination method, Gauss Jordan method, and different methods are there that we use to solve the matrix equation, right? And also we reduce matrix into the LU decomposition. Similarly, we find the inverse of matrix. So all those different methods that we use. So in all those metrics, what is the cost of the matrix, right? So we are interested. So I am interested to discuss the cost in this video series. Okay. So first of all, let's see what is the definition. The definition states that the total number of loops required to solve a problem, which is called the cost. Okay, so the total number of looping points, if we collect all of those, we what do we get? That is the cost, right? Now one can ask what are the flops. Actually, in computer jargon and arithmetic operation, for example, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that we use between any two real number. Okay, so you can say if we use a binary operation between any two real numbers, it is called the flop. Okay, so if we this flops is also, you can say, short form of flopping point operation, right? So if you collect all those flopping points, what do you get? We call it the cost, right? So if you, for example, if you are solving a problem, all the multiplication addition that you have used, if you collect them, so those collection is called a cost, right? Another thing is that the notation for the cost. The notation for the cost that we use, let me write here, is, for example, I would like to find a cost of any, for example, matrix A. Okay, so I will write in this form, and after writing 0, I will write a 0, like a O or 0, you can say, in the center of this one. So this is a notation to represent a cost, right? So I will use this notation in this video series. Some important results that you should know, those I have already written. One of them is the sum of the first natural number. Okay, the sum of first natural number is basically n into n plus 1 upon 2. I hope you know this is a basic in the Sukhanand series thing that we have already studied, that I will use in this video series. So I thought to told you to tell you in the starting, right? Another thing is that the sum of the square of first natural number is basically what? It's n into n plus 1 to n plus 1 upon 6. And the next thing is the summation sign. For example, if we have this series, for example, s1 plus s2 plus s3 all the way up to the sn, we can rewrite this one into the short form. Okay, in the dummy, you can say variable, we call it dummy variable. It starts from its index, we call it index. This is I and n are showing the index. Its index starts from I equals to 1 because its first term is 1, and it ends at n because its last term is n, right? So we write here si. So when you apply this dummy variable, it will it will apply I is equal to 1. Then for example, you will get this I1. Then because this shows a summation, it will sum, I mean it will put here plus, right? Then we apply I is equal to 2. Then when we apply I is equal to 2, it will become S2, right? Then we use here plus and so on all the way up to the, then we use in the end plus, then it becomes Sn, right? And this way this summation works, right? And then if we have two terms in summations, for example, if we have two different the product of the summation, the product of the two, you can say, the numbers of the series can be rewritten in the summation form. For example, if we have s1 t1 s2 t2 s3 t3 all the way up to the sntn, we can rewrite this one into the summation form easily as a SITI, right? And a summation, because all have this same index. Here for example it have these two have as 1 1, then again they have 2 2, again they have 3 3. So we can use only one index here for the for the dummy variable. So it starts from I equals to 1 into n, right? So these are the important results that you should know before going to the further, right? Okay, now let's solve some example to understand the cost better. For example, there's a question: find the cost of CV. Okay, C is any real number, V is any vector, column vector you can say. So we need to find its cost, right? Now if you see, so V vector has n element. For example, R1, R2, R3, all the way up to the Rn. Okay, it has n element. So when we multiply C by n, okay, it's n. Let me write it here. Okay, when we multiply C by V, so when we that means we are multiplying with every element. Okay, so how many multiplications we have used here? We have used n multiplication. Okay, one multiplication is here, one multiplication is here, one multiplication is here, and one multiplication in the last with the last its elements of V, right? So we have used n multiplication. That's why what do we write? We write the cost of this CV is basically n, because we have used n multiplication. Okay, now come on the next question. Next question states that find the cost of CA. Okay, where C is any real number, A is m by n a matrix, right? It has m rows and n column. So we want to find the cost of CV. Okay, so we let's see what could be its cost. So this is a matrix. It has m rows and n columns. Okay, so when I multiply C by A, basically I am multiplying this C with every element of A. Okay, so number of element that we know, if the order of matrix A, the order of matrix A is m by n, then number of elements this matrix are also m by n, right? So so how many multiplication we have used here? That's a 1 2 3. So the number of elements which are in the matrix A, the same number of multiplication that we have used here. Okay, so the cost of matrix, the cost of matrix CA will be what? It will be what? M by n. Okay, the cost of matrix CA will be m by n, because we have used what? M by n multiplications here. Okay, now come on the next question. What does the next question states? That states for example, find the cost of A plus B, where A is m by n and B is also m by n. Well, so let me copy this A from the above, and then I can rewrite B here. Okay, so let me write here, copy A from here, and let me put it down. Wait, let me put it down. Okay, so the number of elements in A are what? The number of elements in A are, the number of elements in A are m by n, right? And similarly, the number of elements in B are what? They are also m by n, right? So I have to do what? I have to do addition. I have to add A11 by B11, right? And A12 by B12. Similarly, A1n by B1n. So I have to add every corresponding element, because it has A has m by n elements and B has also m by n elements. So the cost of A plus B would be what? Because I have to add corresponding elements, it would be also m by n, right? Because I have to use m by n addition between the corresponding elements. In this way we find the cost of between two matrices, and when multiply a scalar by vector, or when multiply a scalar by a matrix, right? So I hope it's clear up to here.